April 2011. The quiet French city of Nantes awakens to news that feels impossible. A well-respected aristocratic family, the Dupont de Ligonnès, has vanished without a trace. 5 members gone. Only the father, Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès, remains unaccounted for. What begins as a missing persons case soon unravels into one of the most shocking and haunting mysteries in modern France. Under a beautiful stone house in an upper-class neighborhood, police make a discovery that will horrify the nation. Buried beneath freshly laid cement and covered with quicklime are the bodies of Agnes Dupont de Ligonnès and the couples for children, all executed with a .22 caliber rifle. What happened inside that house during the first week of April remains a puzzle. And what happened to Xavier, the man at the center of it all, is an even darker mystery. This is the Dupont de Ligonnès family murders, the vanished French father. The Dupont de Ligonnès family appeared perfect. Xavier, a businessman from an old noble bloodline, was charming, educated, and devoted to Catholic tradition. His wife Agnes was a devoted mother who worked part-time at a local Catholic school. Their 4 children, Arthur, Thomas, Anne, and Benoit, were bright, polite, and deeply religious. They lived comfortably in a large townhouse on Boulevard Schumann, attended Mass each Sunday, and were admired by neighbors for their grace and manners. But behind that picture of harmony, something was collapsing. Xavier was drowning in financial problems. His businesses had failed, debts were mounting, and he was living on borrowed money. He had also grown increasingly obsessed with religion, writing letters about divine missions and family sacrifice. In early April 2011, something changed. The children stopped attending school. Agnes called in sick. Xavier told neighbors they were leaving for a sudden family move to the United States because he had been offered a job with an American agency that worked with the Navy. He mailed letters to relatives explaining that he had joined a secret mission under the U.S. government and that the entire family would have to cut all contact for several years. The letters sounded strangely calm, filled with details about espionage and witness protection. At first, relatives believed him. Then came the silence. Days later, Xavier was seen alone, calmly walking through the city, shopping and mailing more letters. He was also seen at a shooting range, practicing with a rifle he had recently purchased. Then he disappeared. On April 21st, police finally entered the family home to perform a thorough search. Inside, they found nearly everything untouched: clothes neatly folded, toothbrushes in the bathroom, dinner plates in the sink. But under the terrace, in a shallow grave covered with quicklime and sand, they found the truth. The bodies of Agnes, aged 48, and the 4 children, Arthur, 20, Thomas, 18, Anne, 16, and Benoit, 13, each had been shot twice in the head as they slept, wrapped in sheets, placed carefully side by side, and surrounded by religious icons. Next to them lay the family dogs. The killer had tried to hide the crime with cement and lime, but the smell eventually gave it away. For investigators, all evidence pointed to one man, Xavier: his fingerprints, his weapon, his schedule. He had paid hotel bills, bought garbage bags, lime, and cleaning products in the days before vanishing. He withdrew money from ATMs along his route south toward the Mediterranean. On April 15th, his car was found abandoned at a small hotel near the village of Rocabrons. He had checked in under his real name, eaten a quiet dinner alone, and left on foot the next morning. From there, he vanished into thin air. A nationwide manhunt began, Helicopters, drones, divers, and dogs scoured the nearby mountains. No trace. Over the following years, alleged sightings poured in from all over the world: southern France, Spain, Italy, even as far as South America. None were confirmed. Some believed he had taken his own life in the rugged terrain near the hotel. Others believed he planned his escape for years, possibly aided by wealthy friends or secret contacts. A few even claimed he had changed his identity and was living quietly somewhere abroad. As investigators dug deeper into his background, they uncovered chilling writings, letters, and online posts that revealed a man obsessed with failure and divine purpose. He often wrote about the idea of saving his family from disgrace, referring to them as being called to heaven. In the months before the murders, Xavier sold possessions, shut down accounts, and wrote long farewell messages disguised as business updates. It was as if he had scripted his disappearance long before he pulled the trigger. The autopsies confirmed that Agnes and the children were likely killed while asleep. No one heard gunshots because Xavier used a silencer. Forensic teams found dinner trays and wine glasses still on the table, suggesting he drugged them first. In the days after, he stayed in the house with their bodies. Neighbors saw lights on and heard the vacuum cleaner running. He was seen carrying heavy bags to his car at night, and the smell of bleach filled the air. He had erased almost every trace except the one that mattered: the graves beneath the terrace. Years passed, and the mystery deepened. Police pursued hundreds of leads, but found nothing. In 2015, a French TV program reconstructed his final movements, reigniting public obsession. Then, in 2019, came a shocking twist. A man traveling from Paris to Glasgow under the name Guy Joe was arrested in Scotland after authorities believed he matched Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès. The world waited for confirmation. But after DNA testing, it turned out to be a false alarm. A completely innocent man. The real Xavier remained at large. For France, the case became more than a murder mystery. It was a story about deception, privilege, and the limits of truth. How could a respected father, a man of faith and education, kill his entire family and vanish without a trace? Psychologists described him as a narcissist, driven by pride, unable to face failure. Others saw him as a coward who destroyed the very people who loved him most. But some close to the family refused to believe he did it at all. They argued that the killings were too organized, too methodical, that perhaps Xavier was killed too, and someone else staged the entire scene. In recent years, new forensic technology has kept the investigation alive. DNA testing on the lime, the bullets, and soil samples continues, but nothing has tied anyone else to the scene. Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès remains one of Europe's most wanted fugitives and one of its most enduring enigmas. The house on Boulevard Schumann has since been demolished, replaced by new construction, but the ground beneath it still holds the memory of what happened there. The Dupont de Ligonnès case is more than a crime story. It is a study in how a man can wear the perfect mask, the mask of a father, a husband, a believer, while hiding a growing darkness beneath. Somewhere out there, perhaps in another country, perhaps under another name, Xavier may still be alive, watching as the world tries to solve his puzzle. Or maybe he lies buried somewhere in the mountains of southern France, his secret kept by silence and time. Until the day that truth is uncovered, one question continues to haunt France. Did Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès vanish to escape justice, or did he vanish to become legend? This is Dark Case Files, And this was the Dupont de Ligonnès family murders, the vanished French father.